Hi everyone! Do you remember the last time we heard a story about Daniel? He was living in a country and serving a king who made a law saying that people weren't allowed to pray to their own God anymore. And if you remember, Daniel decided he was going to carry on praying to God anyway. So, I wonder what happened after he did that. That's what today's story is about.
King Darius had made a law saying that nobody could pray to anyone other than him. And if you remember, when Daniel heard about that new law, he went to his house, went to his upstairs room, and he prayed just as he always did, thanking God. Well, Darius's advisors found Daniel. They saw him praying and asking God for help. So they went to the king. They talked to him about the law he had made. They said, "Didn't you write a law that says no one may pray to any god or man except for you, our king? And doesn't it say that anyone who disobeys will be thrown into the lion's den?" The king answered, "Yes, I wrote that law." Well, they told King Darius that Daniel was not paying any attention to the law that had been written, that he was still praying to his God 3 times a day. The king became very upset when he heard the news. He really liked Daniel. He didn't want to have to throw him to the lions, but that was what his law said. So, King Darius gave the order. They brought Daniel and threw him into the lion's den. The king said to Daniel, "May the God you serve all the time save you." He really didn't want anything to happen to him. They brought a big stone and it was put over the opening of the lion's den. Then the king used his signet ring to put his special seal on the rock. That showed that no one could move the rock and bring Daniel out. Then King Darius went back to his palace. He didn't eat that night. He didn't have any entertainment brought to entertain him, and he couldn't sleep a wink. The very next morning, King Darius got up at dawn. He hurried to the lion's den. As he came near the den, he was worried. He called out to Daniel. He said, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God that you always worship been able to save you from the lions?" And to King Darius's surprise, Daniel answered. He said, "My God sent his angel to close the lions' mouths. They have not hurt me because my God knows I'm innocent. I never did anything wrong." King Darius was so happy. He told his servants to lift Daniel out of the lion's den. So they lifted him out and didn't find any injury on him. And that was because Daniel had trusted in his God. We're going to make a lion face mask today so that we could act out the story. You're going to need a paper plate, a glue stick, something to draw with, perhaps some orange or yellow felt tip pens would be useful. Also, some coloured paper. We've used yellow. You could use orange. You could even use white paper and colour it in yourself. And you'll also need a pair of scissors. Let's get started. Cut your yellow, orange or red card into strips. Fold each of your strips in half and then cut along the fold line so that you have smaller strips to make your lion's mane. On your paper plate, draw 2 lines going down in the middle and join them together using another straight line. Draw a triangle underneath. This is what it should look like. Underneath your triangle, draw a small straight line down and then 2 diagonal lines coming out. This is going to make the lion's mouth. Draw 2 small crosses where you want the lion's eyes to be. We're going to be making a hole where the crosses are and turning them into eye holes so that we can see through. Carefully make a hole through the centre of your X. You could use a sharp pencil or a pair of scissors. Once you've made the holes, ask a grown-up to use scissors to make the holes wider so that you can see through. Glue your strips around the edge. Make sure you put a little bit of glue at the bottom of your strips of card or paper and then attach them going round the plate. Once you've finished gluing all the strips, you could colour in your lion's face. You could add detail to the mane too if you like. And your mask is finished. If you have a lollipop stick, you could glue it to the bottom of the plate so you could hold it up to your face. Or if you have some string or elastic, you could attach that on so that you can put it round your head. Have fun!